What if I told you that just 3 days of silence could break your African gray's heart forever? Many owners think a few days of being busy is no big deal, but for these intelligent birds, it's an eternity of abandonment. Today, we're recounting down the 10 shocking things that happen when you ignore your African gray for just 72 hours. Starting at number 10, they stop talking as much. African grays are famous for their ability to mimic and communicate, but when you stop engaging with them, they lose their motivation to talk. Without that daily conversation, their brain stimulation drops, and they begin to grow quiet, sometimes even becoming depressed. They might look perfectly fine on the outside, but inside, they're starting to shut down emotionally. At number 9, they develop separation anxiety. To an African gray, 3 days of being ignored feels like you've abandoned them. These birds are deeply social and bond intensely with their humans, much like a dog or even a toddler would. When that connection is suddenly broken, they can start pacing, calling out, or even screaming for your attention. This isn't just bad behavior, it's their way of crying out, "Where did you go? Please come back." Coming in at number 8 is one of the most heartbreaking signs. They start feather plucking. When they feel ignored and anxious, they redirect that nervous energy towards self-grooming and take it too far. They might begin pulling out feathers from their chest or wings, leaving painful bald patches that can take months to heal. This is often mistaken for a physical illness, but more often than not, it's a sign of deep emotional distress. At number 7, you'll notice changes in their appetite. After just a couple of days without your attention, some parrots stop eating normally. You might see them picking less at their food, or even refusing their favorite treats. This happens because their routine, and their sense of security, has been shattered. They eat best when they feel safe and loved. On the flip side, just like humans, some parrots might start overeating due to stress. Now for number 6, they can become aggressive or bitey. When a gray feels ignored, it leads to confusion and frustration. They simply don't understand why their favorite person has disappeared from their life. So, when you finally do return, they might lash out. A once gentle and sweet parrot can suddenly become territorial, scream at you, or even bite. This isn't them being spiteful, it's hurt and confusion manifesting as aggression. At number 5, they start imitating negative sounds. African grays mimic what they hear, and that includes emotional tones. If the house is silent and feels empty for days, they might start mimicking distress calls, loud alarms, or other random, jarring noises just to get a reaction from anyone. Some even learn to mimic the sound of crying, which is a haunting reflection of their own loneliness. It's their desperate attempt to break the silence and reconnect. Number 4, they lose interest in toys or playtime. Without your interaction, their world becomes dull and predictable. All those colorful toys you bought for them, they won't even touch them. That's because African grays don't just play to entertain themselves, they play to connect with you. When you're not there to share in the fun, playtime loses all its meaning. At number 3, they begin to show physical symptoms of stress. This can look like fluffing their feathers for long periods, shaking, or frequent tail fanning. Even their droppings can change, becoming watery or irregular. This isn't just a small change. It's their body physically reacting to the emotional neglect they're experiencing. Number 2 is something many owners don't realize. Their immune system weakens. Believe it or not, prolonged emotional stress has a direct impact on a parrot's physical health. When they're ignored for several days, their levels of cortisol, the stress hormones, this weakens their immune system, making them much more susceptible to infections, respiratory issues, or digestive problems. Simply put, emotional neglect can literally make your parrot sick. And the number 1 most painful consequence of ignoring your African gray, they lose trust in you. The beautiful, strong bond you worked so hard to build can break. African grays have incredible memories for faces, voices, and emotions. When you ignore them, they begin to associate you with insecurity, fear, and heartbreak. Rebuilding that trust can take a very long time, requiring immense patience and consistency. So if you think 3 days won't matter, remember that to them, it feels like an eternity of betrayal. So, what really happens? They don't just miss you, they suffer, both emotionally and physically. They grow silent, stressed, and confused. Over time, that silence can turn into serious behavioral problems that are difficult, if not impossible, to reverse. The solution is simple. Just 15 minutes of dedicated daily interaction, talking, playing, or training can make a world of difference. African grays don't just need food and water. They crave connection. If you found this video helpful, please show some love by hitting that like button, subscribing, and turning on the bell icon so you never miss another tip that could change your bird's life. In the world of parrots, silence isn't peace. It's loneliness. Go talk to your bird today. They're waiting for you.